you guarantee, you guarantee that you get both sides of the country watching it. It's just like the money from something like that would be incredible. So, but we can't say it's rigged for the Dodgers when they've thrown 34 scoreless innings in a row. First dollar. Thank you so much. The account is now open. But no, Brian, he's not there yet. He's not there yet. He's only 16 days old though, so let's give him a minute. We're gonna. You don't really. We're not gonna start weaning, like night weaning him. cut the ball, and guys who put their finger over here tends to run. So it goes away from whatever side your thumb's on. So yes, that is something that happens. It's the same thing as like how deep. So some guys are like boom with their fast. It's mostly GM though. There's a lot of GM there. Not mostly. There's a lot though. Ghost Fair, did you go through the questions on Discord? I did, but there might be some more. Let me look into this. a salary cap? No. And I think the important word in that sentence is need. So salary caps, there's a reason that they are so strongly pushed for by ownership, because it's a great excuse to not have to spend money. And with that would have to come a salary floor, right? So the reason other sports have salary caps is because the maximum control you can have over a player in their rookie contract. By the way, football doesn't have any, and basketball has one minor league, right? So there's only one minor league in both sports combined. So you just go to the show, you go to the highest level, and the most they can control you for is 4 years. In baseball, we have 6 years of control, and that's why there's no salary cap. The problem is owners want to have a salary cap and 6 years of control that has 3 options that can also be manipulated around, so you can actually extend that 6 years into 7 seasons, 8 seasons in a lot of cases. So when you have control over a player that long, when the average major league career is 3.5 years, they don't get to free agency, then you don't get to penny pinch. So that's where that comes from. Now, if control changed, if control went to 4 years, ARB was 1 year, or it was 2-year rookie contract and then 2 years of ARB, then salary cap would make more sense, because guys would be getting to free agency earlier. And then so the numbers in free agency going down would make more sense, because most guys would get two opportunities at free agency. So the reason it is the way it is because it's wildly lucrative for the owners. For both sides. No one's getting screwed here. Not truly. There's little things that there are people getting screwed, but so that's why we don't have one. And you can't just implement a salary cap. It doesn't solve anything. It would only exacerbate all the problems people think it would solve. It's not the solution people think it is. Yeah, so like Chris Bryant had a similar situation where the Cubs manipulated service time to keep in the minors later. Yes, there's something called a Super 2. Do you guys know how arbitration works? What a Super 2 versus so a Super 2 is someone who gets 2 years of the rookie contract and then 4 years of ARB. So they go to ARB a year earlier. How that is determined is it takes everyone in that bucket who is in their 3rd year, and then there's a threshold of days, right? So it's like 172 days is a full year. So like it'll be like, if you have 2 years at the end of this season, if you have 2 years and 132 days of service time or more, you go to ARB a year early. This was like a stipulation. Now, that's where service time manipulation comes in. They want you to go to ARB year 3. They don't want you to be a Super 2. So Super 2s are getting more and more rare because it's easier to avoid it. That was the way, that was supposed to get guys paid a little bit earlier that was the first thing they put in to try to get young guys paid faster, was to get them to ARB earlier. But then you could, with options sending guys up and down constantly, you can manipulate it enough to never have any Super 2s. Taylor Rogers was a Super 2, for example. So that is the one exception to the 3-3 rookie, 3 arbitration deal. It could be 2-4 if, like, Rogers was a closer. So they were like, you're up, we need you. So we're just going to have you be Super 2 because you're one of our guys. It'll still pay off more for the team long term, but that's happening less and less. Do you have to be a subscriber to chat and Twitch? Absolutely not. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. NHL draft is at 18. Team control for 9 years. They can become unrestricted free agents at 27. Yeah. So Brian, there's also in baseball, there's also the minor league contract, and then the big. So like, you don't get 6 years of control when you draft them. You get 6 years of control when they get to the big leagues. You get 7 years of control. So minor league contracts work this way: you sign after 5 seasons. They have to either put you on the 40-man roster, which means you can be called up at any time, or you go into the Rule 5 draft. It's another draft where all the teams get to grab guys, but if they pick you up, they have to put you in the big leagues for a full season to keep you. If they want to send you down and every time, you go back to your organization. That's the Rule 5 draft. That's your only thing you can do. If you get through that process and you're not picked up, Tyler Rogers was an example, you have 7 years of control before your minor league contract expires. On the last day of his minor league contract, 7 years into his career, they called him up and his clock started again in the big leagues. So now he's under control for 6 more years. So if they keep him for the whole 6 years again, and he's in the big leagues, which he is on track to do, he will have played for the Giants for 13 years before he got to free agency at like 35. Now, that's an extreme case. That doesn't happen very often, but it's possible. That's how it's set up. You're at 100 servers and can't join? Leave one, you weirdo. Why are you in 100, man? But again, you have the Rule 5. So, like, Rule 5 draft, guys who are good, who are just being blocked, they're going to get picked up. Like, in 2023, the A's picked up Ryan Noda that way. Mark Canha was a Rule 5 draft. Ryan Presley was a Rule 5 draft to the Twins. Reason your Twitch messages aren't showing up in the chat? You're not banned, are you? Well, just so you know, I have both chats up so I can see them both together. So it doesn't matter which one you're in. Oh, yeah, Santander, also Rule 5. Do you agree or disagree with putting an inning rule on starting pitchers? I think it's worth testing. I would prefer it to be incentivized somehow to find some balance to where, like, something positive happens if you do it, as opposed to you're negatively affected, because there's just too many. I think about the angle from, like, if I'm a bullpen guy, right, and the guy goes for it, can't get through 6, and he's out there and he's struggling, and they pull him, and then now we are having to do more. I want to avoid that, but I think maybe 5 innings is the line. I think that would be nice. Get rid of the clocks. I flip my stance on that, man. The clocks are a little bit quick sometimes. Honestly, they make broadcasting the game really hard at this point. But that can be slight. Like, they can just not have such a hot trigger finger just a little bit. Like, everyone's talking about, oh, let's give it one more second or whatever, and then it's fine. It's fine. It is funny that the pitch clock in the playoffs is just killing broadcast because they want to push so many commercials in a row that we're missing, like, every first pitch of every inning. So, give me a 4-hour game again. That's a lot, though. Play really close to the count now in every AB because of your video. Are you noticing that he's always behind in the playoffs? Guys, I do want to pitching coach. I do want to teach people pitching. I'm still working on. This is something that I'm going to probably unveil going into spring. Actually, this is a great time to talk about it. First off, I need to sharpen my mind up. I swear to God, these are easy to open. I'm just an idiot. Focus Fuel. All natural ingredients, caffeine, 50 milligrams per piece. There's 50. There's 100. It tastes like candy because it is. Only 2 grams of sugar, 10% off, code BASEBALL. TheFocusFuel.com. Seriously. You know, like the NeuroGum stuff? Better. I love this. These are great. They're just chill. And a lot of great creators are behind the making of it. And I want to support them. So, great company, great people that run it. Breakdowns brought to you by Focus Fuel. 3D pitching theory. Anyway, so going into 2025 season, a couple things are going to happen. One, I have a program a community I'm trying to build called Neptune Pitching. We have a TikTok, we have a YouTube channel, and I put a couple things up there just when I'm able to break it down. And then a Discord channel. The Discord channel is not public yet. There's a couple people who've found it, but there's nothing there yet. And what I'm looking to do is have meaningful conversations and be somewhere where I can give advice regularly, and then just kind of have it be a little bit of a wiki. So, like, we'll have discussion posts where people can post, hey, what do we think of this thing and this thing and this thing? and then we're gonna do some AMA sessions like we are now, but we're gonna do them in Discord where people can actually physically ask the questions and raise their hands, and like I can show you things, like demonstrate things, like I can do it from my. I have a studio space that has a small like net in it. I can actually show you how to do certain things. That is gonna be live going into the season, probably in March, because it's a lot of compiling information. I have so much notes. I have so many notes that I saved for my career. It's crazy, actually. It's insane how much I have to comb through. So I'm just kind of slowly figuring out how to organize it and whatever. It'll be completely free. The Discord will be completely free. And there may become like a thing. There may become like one-off type stuff that you would be able to, like my time might be worth some money. Like, so if you wanted a digital pitching lesson, if you wanted like a one-on-one conversation, whatever, that may come with a price tag at some point. But other than that, all the information, all of the documentation, all the videos, everything, I'm unless it has a very, very personalized and tailored thing for somebody, if I'm making you something specifically for you, that's only for you, that is the only thing that would ever, in my opinion, be worth any sort of compensation. Everything else is I would like to share just for free. And if I don't know something, or if it's a burgeoning area that I don't know a lot about, pitch design, new technologies, whatever, then I want to have relationships with Tread and Driveline and Baseball Ranch and Jaeger, these guys to like, and Tom House, like the Mustard, like to put you, like point you in the direction where they can help you even more. But those things will always have price tags because they're running businesses. So I want to know a lot about what's going on in the development of pitching at the major league level, at the minor league level, and at the amateur level. And then I can help you get what you need to get, as much of it for free as possible, which a lot of that is what Tom House did when I was young. And my dad paid for his like newsletter, and then we like saved it all in a binder, and that's how I learned to pitch. And then I got a pitching coach. But so that's what I'm gonna do. Secondly, this show is gonna get a facelift over the winter, meaning we're gonna have it's gonna turn more into it's not gonna be Pat McAfee's show, but we're gonna have a lot more production value, a lot more guests. I'm looking at actually getting a producer to help me do it. And then the show will be a little bit later in the day. So we're discussing, Kate and I have been talking about this. I might shift this show from 8 a.m. Pacific time to 10 a.m. Pacific time moving forward, just because of Boy, and it would help her out a lot too. So Cam too. Excuse me. Ever pitch at Coca-Cola Park? Is that in Allentown? Is that what we're talking about? PM for production? No, PM's got too much stuff going on. Off topic, but Jack Flaherty's tunnel yesterday was out of this world. Very, very good. That is one thing that blew me away, Stem, is that Jack was doing such a good job of getting kind of really poor swings and misses with not really that. He didn't seem overly super sharp to me, right? He's so 93, 94. He wasn't gassing people up. He was just like mixing really well, and everything came out of the same slot. Baseball needs a McAfee show. That's what I'm going to do, Vane. That's what I'm looking to do. But I do enough things that are just me, and I want to add some people in. There's also some YouTubers. So this is something that I actually wanted your guys' opinion on, because you're the people that this matters for, and I want to keep kind of a running list of collaborators, of YouTube channels that you guys like, baseball YouTube channels that you enjoy. I got the big ones, right? We got Baseball Doesn't Exist, Foolish, frickin' John Boy, all kinds of stuff, but like smaller things. Smaller would be great. Fuzzy, Jolly. Actually, I'm going to pull this up. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to pull up some music because it is quiet. So we're going to do this. And I would love your opinion, and also keep asking questions because I'm having a blast. But let me pull up ours. I pass. Okay, let's just oh, that's the same song. There we go. Little music for you. For you. All right. I talk. You like I talk too? Okay. I talk baseball. Baseball doesn't exist. Foolish. All of them. Foolish baseball and Foolish Bailey. Who's the other one? Fuzzy. The Bat Bros. I like the Bat Bros too. They're West Coasters. Made the cut. Is Made the Cut affiliated? What up, Jack? How we doing, man? It's not the length of baseball game that's the problem. It's the number of games during the season combined with the long games. The NFL's 17-game season makes every game important. I agree wholeheartedly, DL. Baseball is dead. But it's not. Good morning. Morning flying. How we doing? Something rant something. No More Fielders is actually so good. No More Fielders. So what I'm also noticing is like a lot of these people do like deep dives. Okay, so another guy, I think his name's Wiley Analytics, is smaller and he's getting some traction. He's had a couple good ones, but he does a lot of stats based stuff. So my idea is to build a collaboration model where a lot of these people can help me build, like they can build me like a little 3-minute segment, kind of like how like the Daily Show worked, the Colbert Report, like how they have other associate writers do their own segments and they could pre-record these and we can play them or whatever. I think it'd be great, or just bring them on to talk. Like I want to have Chris Rose on. I want to have Jolly Olive on. That's not how you spell Jolly Olive. Plouffe. Ian Happ, dude. Ian, I've talked to Ian quite a few times too. I like his pod a lot. Antonelli. Mookie's pod's also great. I know all about Mookie's pod. Trust me, I know all about the behind the scenes with that and how that got done. We have the same agent. Very interesting. Brent Rooker, 1,000%. Dude, Rook is gonna be my co-host. Ooh, Jerry Blevins. Hell, I'm gonna throw Danny Wexy in there, dude. Danny Wex. I have reached out to Bauer. That one's already in the works, so we don't need to put that in there. Dallas would come on. Though I don't know if people get in trouble for talking to me if you work for the A's at this point. Following Brent Rooker on Twitter has brought you so many laughs. Yeah, he just says whatever. We talked extensively about this. I love it that he's just living it up that way, just going for it. Do you ever listen to the A's post-game clubhouse show? Yeah, dude. With Shooty, dude. Shooty Babbitt. Best names ever. Brody Brazil and Shooty Babbitt. My favorite. Why did they start Kodai? Don't know. All right, guys, if you think of anything else, CC, Josh, I mean, let's just do this. Players, ex-players, any other creators, though, any other personalities that would be interesting. Are you still involved in any of the teams? No, not in any official capacity. Brody Brazil would definitely come on. Brody would. Brazil. Brody Brazil. What a name, dude. Not as good as Shooty Babbitt. Gleeman? Well, that's the thing. Like, I could get the big boys too. One thing I really want to focus on is giving some voices to some people who aren't endemic in the space. Going to YouTubers, things like Wardy would be great to have on. Like getting people to come in and talk about their teams, giving people the Marine Layer comes in and talks about the Mariners, and like just reaching out to all of the different smaller like the not smaller, but like maybe the regional guys that like aren't Barstool and aren't John Boy, because they've already kind of locked a lot of people up. It's almost Call of Duty season. Don't tell Kyler Murray. You should make a bullpen of only underrated relievers, like from this year. Swilly Sports. Okay, Swilly Sports. We'll throw them on there. Why not? Joe's. Dude, Joe's would be great. Do you agree that baseball is fun to play but shit to watch? Not quite at that level, but I understand. It's tedious as hell. Sorry, guys. I did not mean to just burp into the mic. I've been hanging out with the baby too much. Eno and DVR, yeah, they're good. Again, like crossovers, collabs, podcasts, all kinds of stuff. I apologize. Excuse me. Two seasons, baseball and video game season. Yeah. Yeah. That's usually what the winter has been for me. Though I have a kid, so I don't get to play video games anymore. My hair looks awful. Hey, chat, do I look like I had a baby recently? Backyard baseball? Dude, I love backyard baseball. You have a favorite game you played in? One of the playoff games. The one we won was great. I didn't play, though. God, Joey Votto. Like all these guys I would love to reach out to. I'm gonna utilize Emily to be my to be like the to be the manager, and then I would love to get a producer that helps me write the show. Like I'm actively looking for a producer. I have some ideas. If they're willing to do it. Also, I have a lot of really awesome videos coming out. That I've been working on. I have a scripted video about Castellanos that I've teamed up with a writer to do, which I'm so excited about. Which we're gonna have a meeting about it tomorrow. So he's basically scripting it out for me, and then I'm gonna film it, and then we're gonna produce it together, which is gonna be great. We do other sports channels, true. How does the reverse boycott rank your favorite experiences? Actually, that might be the number one thing I remember from my career, because it felt like I was in the center of something, and it was, I don't know, I felt actually engaged. I wasn't watching, it was me doing the thing. And I think outside of like getting huge outs in the playoffs or something, you don't get to feel that very often. So I felt like I was in control. I ended the game, and that felt really good. Is it better for a 14-year-old pitcher to develop a cutter or sinker? Sinker. I would say sinker's natural. Sinker's natural. And that just means grip a two-seam and throw it. Let's see. How cool would have been if you were the 7th inning, Urseg the 8th, and Miller the 9th? You mean Urseg the 7th, Miller the 8th, and me the 9th? Hey, you know who had the best save rate out of all those people? Ya boy! What do you think about the Kike Hernandez F-bomb interview? I love it. Do it. Go for it. Did you ever use guys as a sort of measuring stick of how long to stay in the league? Like, I can get this guys, I'm still here. Honestly, it was Buster Posey. Buster Posey played till he was 34. I was like, I can get to 34. By get to 34, it wasn't I can stay in the league till I'm 34. It was I'm gonna retire when I'm 34, no matter how good I am, because I'm done. Like, guys, I could have played this year, and I could probably play next year too. Physically, I could have easy. Actually, easy. I could have easily done it. I just knew that in the offseason, I was gonna have to go take everything up 20% effort, and I wanted to have a child, and I wanted my wife not to hate me. So, and I wanted to stay here and live in my home. Could have done it. I just weighed the options like, you know what? And you know what? I made the right decision. I've had a blast. But I could play. I could. It's not, I didn't retire because I didn't have any offers. I retired literally three days after the season ended. Yeah, I'm way happier, Shay. I'm having a blast. So I do miss a lot. I miss a lot of it. And now I'm all in on teaching Mads how to play. I took a picture of him with a baseball the other day, and Kate was like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. I just can't wait for him to be a first rounder. That's all I'm saying. Honestly, though, if he could be a basketball player, I hope he's 6'9". Are you sad the Polleds are thinking of selling? A little bit, but like it's interesting that they're doing it now. And I wonder why. I wonder what went into it. Because it makes money. It just comes down to, I think, here's what I think. Because Joe Pollad took over the team. And Jim was done. And I don't think running a baseball team is Joe's dream. So I think it just came down to it where they're like, Joe, it's your team to run. And he kind of wants to open himself up to doing something else. And no one else in the family wants to take over. And that's probably what it came down to. And you know what? If that's how they made the decision, like that's living your truth right there. That's like making it you don't have to do something just because you started to do it, even if it's that big. You don't. But, and I think the Polleds are really good people, and they care a lot about Minneapolis. Like, in terms of owners, guys, like, they're some of the good. I understand they don't spend a ton of money, and they're not just like they're not throwing money everywhere. That's really not the Minnesota way anyways. It's just not. Show me one sports owner that does that there. Like, it's just not how it works. But they're like genuinely nice. Like, they're good people. Like, you can talk to them, and they have billions of dollars. You can talk to them like they're human beings, and they talk to you like you're a human being. And I know that's not a very high bar, but in the major leagues, there's a bunch that don't. So, and I trust that they're gonna, whatever decision, whoever they decide to sell to, they're gonna make sure that it does right by Minnesota. Like, they stay. They just didn't they just extend the lease of the stadium for 15 years? Like, there's no reason to leave. Yeah. So yeah, they definitely have had intentions to sell for a long time. I bet once they realize, because I just, knowing Joe, I know a little bit about him. He's more of like so you know how like the uniforms changed once. They got the blues with the gold and the red for a while, and then they changed it again. And then the promotion around the team and kind of the atmosphere in the stadium is kind of, the energy's kicked up a lot in the last 5-10 years. All Joe. That was Joe's thing. So he's more of a creative guy. And I just don't think running a baseball team is like really what long-term he wants to do. And I bet you the family's just kind of like, anyone, like, and he's like, if I can't give this my full attention, then we shouldn't do it. That's what my assumption is. Just knowing what I know about them. So, but I understand, like, you know, I also understand the, like, spend some money. I get it. That's normal. That's healthy. Fans should always be like, guys, give us our team. We want, like, try really hard. Show us you're trying. Always hold them accountable that way. But if that's the biggest criticism that you get when you're an owner, I think you're doing a fairly good job. It's a really cool ballpark. What's going to happen in Tampa? The roof is gone. Well, it's a tarp, so they can just put a new one on. Any chance the Athletics change their team colors? Dude, I don't know. It's coin flip. I have no idea what they're going to do. Maybe they try to remove themselves from it like the plague. They might. Up to the city pay for a new top? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. They may never play in the Trop again. I mean, they could probably Tampa. They could probably play. They could. I mean, all the spring training stadiums are there, right? Yeah, they don't seat. You know, Clearwater seats probably like 10,500. But you know, how much do they draw, right? So. Can you choose your baseball baseball reference pick or no? I think they choose the one you were with the longest. I don't really know. There's got to be some sort of insurance coverage, but it still doesn't cover the whole thing. You know what insurance companies are good at? Not paying. It's 11,000. Yeah. They might have to play in a spring training, but then again, it's going to rain every day. So why not just have another stadium where it's 98 degrees and 100% humidity outside every time? Then you can go to Sacramento where it's going to be 115, 130 on the field because it's turf. And then we can have 2 minor league stadiums in the major leagues at the same year. Steinbrenner Stadium. That one's a little bigger. Steinbrenner's bigger. I think they get 15K in there. Talk of Arlington. Oh, play across the street from Texas. Ugh, but that's outdoors too. That's hot as hell. It's not going to be ready till 2028. They're not going to speed that up either. There's no way. So, Steinbrenner's 11K? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's probably what they're going to do. Well, the one thing about baseball is there's lots of fields. So, the Rays can play in the A's Stadium. Coliseum, coming back. How funny would that be? It's open. After watching Bauer on the road in Mexico, picking up parasites, going to crappy stadiums without good plumbing, is that worse than the minor leagues? Overall, yes, but just like it depends on the level. Like there's no really terrible AAA places. There are a lot of terrible low A spots. Lots. You should have seen Hagerstown, Maryland. Oh my Lord. It was like playing in a gravel lot. It was awful. Have you pitched at Fenway? A lot. I pitched at Fenway a whole lot. 1 p.m. game in Arlington. Yeah, that's enough to make you want to die. I've done it. People are selling scraps of the Trop on eBay. Makes me itchy. You know what's so funny? It could just be a white piece of tarp and you would have no idea, dude. Hagerstown just built a new stadium. Thank God. Old Hagerstown was garbage. Bowie sucked. Honestly, Sacramento's clubhouse is a portable out in left field. It just depends. Yes, Hagerstown Suns. 2009 Hagerstown Suns, awful. Who do I think is the best pitcher of all time? Short career, but probably most dominant. It's got Sandy Koufax has to be up there. Nolan Ryan for longevity, pure dominance. Probably Randy Johnson. Why our Mets suck ass, dude? Daniel, come on, man. Dude, they got the NLCS. They lost the first game, and suddenly they suck ass. Can we just relax? Relax. You don't win every game. Please. Let's stay level here. Let's not actually go into depression after one day. It's not healthy. Nolan's my personal. Actually, you go look at Nolan's career as an aggregate, and it's not as good as you think it is. He is incredible, but it is not quite as good as he never won a Cy Young. Yeah, the Dodgers have a 33 inning scoreless inning streak that most all time they're tied. Like, sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw, okay? What about Maddox with the lowest velo? Maybe. Could be Maddox in terms of competitive. Is 1 p.m. the next day enough time for Mets to mentally reset? Yes. But yeah, I mean, you can't argue with 6,000 strikeouts or whatever he has. He played for, what, 45 years? It's house money. It's never house money, Johnny. You should know that. Yeah. Oh, so we started Senga yesterday. I know hindsight's 2020, but they have 4 starters, so I'm a little confused. And they all were rested, so it's like, why not just start Manaea? You know, you have Manaea, Sevy, Quintana, and David Peterson, and McGill. Like you had everybody. It was interesting. Maybe we save Senga for if we need him, but like he should have been. I mean, it's his 3rd start. I don't. Pedro, yeah, I'd say peak Pedro's up there. He's top 3. Like peak Roger Clemens also is top 3. Honestly, Pedro, Clemens, and Randy Johnson, aggregately, like in terms of they all had long careers, they all had longevity, and they played during the steroid era. And aggregate stats are big too. When I was on 5 days rest? Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think Kershaw is an argument for best pitcher of all time? Yeah, I would say overall, again, it's just it comes down to longevity. Like, you know, guys are pitching for 13 years now. It's like a really long time. And, you know, he's got to compete with like Roger Clemens is 18, 19 years. And Randy Johnson's 20 years. And like Pedro's freaking 17. Like you can't catch him. Kershaw's the best lefty. Kershaw's not even the best Dodger lefty. Sandy Koufax. Oh, Ghost, they're trying right now, man. They're trying. Them saying that publicly means they're trying now. Kershaw's better than Koufax? He played longer. That's for sure. Hey, Danny. I was going by the rule in the playoffs of a series isn't really decided. Hold on. Until someone loses at home. True. Valenzuela, he's very good too. You think Kodai was tipping or he just got jumped on early? Kodai threw 10 strikes out of 30 pitches. There was neither one of those things. They weren't hitting him. He just walked everybody. Like, you don't have to tip when you're not throwing any strikes. He threw 10 strikes total and 20 balls. Like, that's all it was. Koufax had a strong few years at the end of career, but Kershaw whole career is a 2.5. It is very good, yeah. Chris Carpenter rank and pitchers all time, I don't know, top 300 maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why start saying a game 1. I don't know. Oh, Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz just because of longevity. Glavine, Maddox, and Schmaltz just because of longevity. Priors and Bronner Wood was so good for like 4 years together. Zito, Hudson, Mulder, same thing. So like they Pryor flamed out fast. So did Kerry Wood. Neither one of them they had no longevity. They were very good for a very short amount of time. I'd say Zito, Hudson, and Mulder, with the exception of maybe Mulder had the shorter version, but Hudson and Zito were good for a while. But Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz were good. Like, Smoltz was a great starter and then a great closer. I'd say that they have it easy. But yeah, prior injury issues, and so did Wood. Is it the thickness of the ball? Slickness of the ball is causing most of the injuries, especially TG? No, it's the obsession with velocity, and it's probably mostly the strain being put on arms to try to gain velocity as quickly as humanly possible. And then in the major leagues, obviously the speed of the game is not helping. It's also probably factors in, even though the MLB will deny that till the day they die. Even though they didn't do the right research, they didn't do enough research to know that for certain. But that's neither here nor there. But those are the two big things at this moment, I think, at least in the big leagues. But young guys getting hurt is just because they're throwing much more often, and they're throwing harder and harder and harder. That doesn't mean don't throw hard, right? That doesn't mean don't try to throw hard. It just means it can't be the only thing you're doing. You have to be really smart about it. There are secondary muscles around the joint that fatigue quicker with the pitch clock. Actually, everything in your body fatigues quicker with the pitch clock. If you're doing stress pitches with the pitch clock and you're constantly stressed, yes. And then the slickness of the balls does help, but that's just, I think, case by case. I made this song, chat. Back when I was a music producer. Still slaps. Do you think teams will get rid of starting pitcher and carry guys that go 3 innings? Every game is a both type of game. No. That is not a good way to approach it. You have to have one guy take the brunt sometimes. Because the mental and physical strain of knowing that you have to pitch every couple days as opposed to getting 4 days off is so much worse. So you're going to have guys pitching poorly more often. Basically, the machines with the most moving parts tend to break down. Think about it that way. You add 10 cogs that are in every single game, the chances that one of these guys messes up is much higher. Well, if you run a 7-man rotation, you can only have 6 relievers. That won't work either. Using logic and Fruity Loops? No, Ableton is what I used. Does the upswing playing contribute to a bleak strain? You talking about this? Yeah. I mean, anytime you're using your oblique to create rotational force or slow yourself down, you're creating a chance that you hurt yourself. But at the same time, there's everything in your body is connected to where your ankle could be tired for a week, and then your left knee starts to hurt because you've been leaning and not realizing it. And then suddenly your stride gets a little bit shorter because your knee hurts and your ankle hurts. And when your stride gets shorter, you start rotating a little bit earlier, and then what eventually goes is your intercostal. That kind of stuff, dude. Hey, Ploofy's here. What up, Ploofy? How you doing, bro? We were just talking about you, man. I'm working on zhuzhing the show up, making it a little bit more pretty, and bringing people on to come talk ball. And you're at the top of my list to come talk if you're ever interested. Obviously, no pressure, and this isn't anytime soon, but I might reach out to you. Hope you're doing well, man. And I'm a big fan of the show. I listen a lot. I listen to you and Rosie a lot. I hope you're doing good. Hope Teddy's doing good. I've been seeing pictures you post of him. The fact that he is that big blows my mind. When was I in the Oriole organization? Never. Hey, did you guys know that the last time I threw a pitch to Trevor Plouffe, he took me deep? Did you guys know that? Oh, you mentioned Hagerstown and Bowie. Yeah. No, I played against him. I was in both those leagues for 2 seasons. Really? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's just an idea I'm workshopping. So there's a lot of time. I'll make sure I have it organized up in like what we would be doing before I offer or before I reach out about it. So, and yes, you did take me deep when you were in Philly, or when you were remember in Allentown, and I was trying to come back as a starter from Tommy John, throwing like 88. And I was like, hey, can you put me in the bullpen? I suck ass. AA doesn't, AAA doesn't count? Yes, it does. I'll never forget it. I'm pretty sure I saw you at Target, and then you took me deep. What's the longest home run you ever given up? It had to be I think the first one I ever gave up was the farthest. Chris Davis, like onto the concourse in right field in Camden. Grand slam. Tough day. Is it a painful recovery? No. Not too bad. It's just weird. It's awkward, I would say. Tough day at the office. Yeah. I think I threw 4 1/3 innings, had like 9 strikeouts, and gave up 8 runs. How weird is that? You think when Shohei is able to pitch again, he would be more effective as a closer? I don't think more effective. I mean, he's pretty effective as a starter. I think he'd be effective whatever he does. I don't know about closing, though, because, well, honestly, that's a lot of emotional strain in a day. Like, if he was DHing, and went in and closed the game. That's a good way to get you to burn out. Yeah, he's able to enter more games, but also be much less valuable. Honestly, starting pitchers are way more valuable to their team. Just go look at WAR. You look as good as Manny. All right, bro. Enjoy your workout, Trev. Say hi to Olivia for me, man. And I'd say Teddy, too, but I doubt he remembers me. That shot by Davis was 415. Oh, that's not the farthest end. I gave one up to Dylan Viciedo that same year into the third deck in Target Field. I don't know. You have a video about postseason prediction? Yeah, it's in the beginning of the year. So I didn't make postseason predictions this year going into the year because I was planning on it, and then my son was born on the last day of the season. So I just had to not do it. But I'm wrong. I'm really wrong. A lot of the things I guessed were wrong. Pretty much every team I guess would be there is not in anymore. So when did you get in-ears? I got these. I started using these. So I've been using these for rates and barrels and for the radio and stuff for a while. And then I just moved them over to this. Can I ask your thoughts for the LCS? Do you want my guesses on the series? Now, I'm biased. I have the Mets. Bias going. And I'm gonna say they take it in 7. Because frankly, I just feel like rooting for the Dodgers is just too easy. It's just not. I think they have a very good chance. The Dodgers have a very good chance, but it's just a little bit too predictable for me. I want a little bit. I want a little bit of magic. If it were Mets, Yankees, that'd be an interesting series to me because I've played for one of the teams, so I would be able to get into it. But I understand why the rest of the country would be a little bit like, ugh. And then there's a small part of me that's like Dodgers. Yankees would be sick because it's like Aaron Judge versus Shohei. Like, it's just stars. There's like MVPs everywhere, all in the game. It's like an all-star game every night. 2 huge fan bases, 2 rowdy fan bases. LA for what's better, LA or New York? I don't know. There's a lot there. Then there's like Cleveland hasn't won one in 80 years. It'd be cool to see them. So I think the lose maybe the least fun one would be like Dodgers Cleveland. Would probably be the least like fun. Maybe. But like, so I'll say, let's go Mets Cleveland. And do you know why I root against the Yankees here? Because that's what you're supposed to do if you're not a Yankees fan. Right, guys? We all root against the Yankees. Unless you're a Yankees fan and you say, let's go Yankees, that's fine. But if you're not a Yankees fan, F them. Sorry. A lot of trauma here. Played for the Mets, played for the Twins, and I grew up a Mariners fan. Yankees kind of have killed all three of their dreams quite a few times. So, but then again, everyone feels that. So, ooh, Lindor versus old team. That's interesting. Subway Series. I mean, Subway Series, that's fun, man. The whole thing, that's just fun. But I don't know. I think we're going to win. I'm curious about something. Sweeper last year, screwball power change this year. Seems like there's an it pitch every year. Why? Hitters don't really seem to be catching up with pitching trends. It's because pitch design has exploded. Here's the big thing. We discovered seam shifted wake, which is the biggest discovery in pitching history. And what that means is so many of these guys who threw pitches and we didn't really know how they were so good. We now know why they're so good because of physics. So the power change, a bunch of people learned how to seam shift it. Guys who couldn't throw changes because they couldn't pronate now can throw a supinated changeup that literally goes right harder than they ever could have imagined. And so velo doesn't matter anymore. They didn't need to pull velo off anymore. It was all movement. So once the pitch became movement, more guys could throw it. That's why they're throwing it. Sweeper, the same thing. We discovered a slider that goes sideways and how to catch, get more air under it. So we had the depth slider going. We had the 2-plane. We didn't know how to do the 1-plane horizontal. We figured that out. So that's why it became popular. That, and they realized more people can throw sweepers, more people can throw seam-shifted changeups. Like more guys can throw. They're easier to throw. You're using their natural ability to throw that was preventing them from throwing a good pitch before. Now they can throw a good one using what they have based on what we know about how seams work. Now, that said, that well is only so deep and only has so much water in it. And we might have hit the bottom. There might be nowhere else to really go here. So that's kind of why we're seeing 2 seams come back. Now we're starting to figure out, like, more guys can throw more pitches consistently and hitters are going to catch up. But yeah, that's why. Also, no beards. Yeah, that's stupid. Cleveland winning this year would be awesome. Dude, I'm all for a team winning it for the first time in a very long time or for the first time. All for that. There was a little part of me that was like, good job, Texas. Finally got it. You guys can stop, yelling at Nelly Cruz for that fly ball in 2011, right? Which didn't really happen, but they could have. They ain't allowed beards? No. Yankees. Yankees is they're the last organization that does a lot of stuff just for the sake of doing it, which I hate more than anything. Also, guys, have I talked to you about the screenplay that I'm writing? Like the movie, the baseball movie I'm writing? I haven't told you guys. At least we don't have the Hawk Tua girl throwing out the first pitch. Hey, the Talk Tua podcast is some inspired shit, okay? You watch your gullet. Watch your gullet, whatever that means. Reporting from St. Pete, we're alive, but no power. Still no power, Jeremy, huh? Hope you're staying safe, man. How long has it been? How long have you not had power for? What up, Book Dragon? I like her, haha. It's just so funny. It's the most Jake Paul crap I've ever seen. Dude, streaming is... Oh my God, live streaming has gotten to this, like, is in this weird... It's just so much different now. Which it's not all bad, but like... My God, I feel so bad for some of these kids who have grown up and just have been never challenged on any of their dumbass ideas. And then they got famous and it's just, they've turned into just garbage can people. I'm talking to you, Jack Doherty. That kid sucks. Oh my God, he sucks. He makes me want to throw up. I know he's a child, but my Lord, he is the worst thing ever. He is just everything that's just terrible about somebody. Oh, ew. Everything he cares about does not matter at all. I've never seen anyone care about so much shit that does not matter in my life. So, but he's also like 20. So like, I'm trying, like he almost killed his friend though in a car crash because he was reading chat. We're driving McLaren. Don't do that, guys. The reason I feel so annoyed by him is because my 8-year-old nephew, like, him and I show speed. He loves them. And I'm just like, dude, no, please. Not these guys for your role models, man. He's just too young to understand. Like, he's 21, 21. Okay. Then he should know. Oh, well, it's the same thing, guys. Aiden Ross does the same thing. Aiden Ross thinks that because he gives people he gives someone he knows, his sister, a Camry, that he's a good person. Giving people presents all the time doesn't mean you're a good person. It doesn't. That's not how everything's. Your whole life doesn't have to be transactions. Anyway, why is he even watching them? 8 years old. I mean, he's got to game. Have you spoken to an 8-year-old? They're like masterminds. They have Gen X parents. They know more about iPads than I do. Backdoors, YouTube. Like, it comes down to this. Like, I show speed, like half of the stuff he puts, like, it's for kids on his shorts, so he still shows up on the kids side of YouTube, and they're not for shorts. Like, some of the stuff are not for kids. I see this stuff, I'm like, why is this in the kids thing? You should not be seeing this. Never heard of Jordy before the crash? Good for you, book. I mean, I watch a lot. I get a lot of inspiration from commentary YouTube. It's just like how people edit and stuff. But like, I find myself going down the rabbit hole, people complaining a lot because I like to complain. It's another issue too that I'm working on. But I have a son. I'm Gen X. Nobody watches. He knows they're idiots. Well, there you go, game. Not everyone's as good as you. But yeah, no, trust me. I've had this conversation with the powers that be. Trust me. But he is good. Like, he is good. He is sneaky. And, you know, then they have their friends, right? They have friends at their school that are 9 or 10 who just have cell phones. So, like, the ease of which, when they're not around you, that they can get in front of a screen and watch whatever they want, it's just so easy now. And most of the stuff they see from these guys is innocuous. It's not a big deal. But then they go, oh, this kid's fun. Oh, he just yells and screams and overreacts about everything. And that's really funny for some reason. And look at him get really close to his really fuzzy camera and just scream into his microphone about nothing. And then, you know, and then something slips through and they're like, oh, this is fine because everything else was fine. Right? I'm curious how Imanaga fastball batting average was 220 and it's just 91. Is that not slow for today's game? It is, but he has elite carry and very good command of it at the top of zone. Honestly, 220 is higher than I thought it would be. These days, like 8-year-olds got phones they bring to school. Yeah. I'm honestly, since COVID, it's even, but like, I understand that I get it, but like, it's going to be, my child is going to have screens. He's going to see screens. But what we're trying to do is, like, right now, when I'm holding him and he's just like awake, like we're having awake time, if I'm doing something that isn't actively like engaging with him, because I'm not going to sit there and be like, blah, 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 for 5 hours, right? But if I'm just hanging out with him on the ground or whatever, I'm reading a physical book, or if there's a screen in the room, it's away from me as if it's like a TV. So here's the thing. I'm going to have screens up. He's going to come up here. He's going to see screens up. But what I want him to do is associate screens or something that I don't take with me. It's the picking up and taking it with you thing. I'm not going to be able to avoid screens. They're freaking everywhere. They're everywhere all over the place. There's no way for him to be like, hey, don't look at screens, man. He's just gonna. He's gonna go to school. There's screens. There's screens. There's screens everywhere. Freaking strollers have screens in them now. My car is just covered in screens. He's gonna see screens. But I want him to associate like stationary. When you're sitting and you're watching something, good. When we're going out to eat or whatever, we don't do that. We do something analog. If he wants to go and we're at dinner and he wants to like read a book or draw or watch a like a preloaded something, fine. But what am I currently reading? Disney War. Oh, it's so good. It's about Michael Eisner running Disney and getting pushed out of the company. Oh, it's crazy. It's awesome. It's movie stuff. Ooh, Ask Kate, female creator. Already have her on here, Adam. She's awesome. I've already actually talked to her a few times. Though we were supposed to do a podcast episode, and she had to reschedule, and then we never did. But as long as you limit it, make sure they're getting activity. There's no shame in it. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to help him also learn to self-regulate himself and just like value it as a tool from the beginning. Because what I've noticed is screens, the way the what kids learn first is I do something happens. Cause and effect is like the first relationship they're learning. So when the screen is in front of them and they're going, I touch, I get, I touch, I get, and the more that's stimulating their brain, then they associate that with everything. And when they don't get it, they feel like something's missing if they've never felt anything else. So if you can avoid that connection earlier to where they're like, oh, we're using this for this purpose, and then we move on. Just try to start there as best you can. Then you don't have to try to wean off, because weaning off, like, it's dopamine, man. Like, having dopamine withdrawal is so hard. It's like drugs. It's real. It's a real thing. So you see people like, these kids were iPad kids from 2 to 5, and then now they're 5 years old and they won't put down their iPad, and parents are like, what? I'm like, it's the only thing they know. They think that's part of them. They think it's literally theirs. Like, it's part of living, and it's not. It doesn't need to be. So, but I think it's just like constantly saying, oh, what do you want to do? Okay, let's do that. Okay, can I do it with you? And just like offering other options and just like having a relationship that way. I know it's easier said than done. I know I'm only 2 weeks in, but I'm going to do my best. This is my goal. I'm trying. If you watch movies with your kids, they will see extremist content and say, that's a bad guy. Duh. Thoughts on Mets going with one less pitcher and starting Senga to start, who has not pitched much and wasn't going that long. I didn't know they were starting with one less pitcher. That's crazy, bro. The screen's hypnotizing. I know. I'm chronically online. And I'm an adult, and I'm actively trying to get better. But, like, it's hard. It's not even laziness. It's funny because they're really active and they're really engaged, just not in the thing you want them to be engaged in. So people who say kids are lazy are just stupid. No offense, but like it's just not. There's not very good critical thinking going in there. Kids don't like. It's just not their fault. They're not naturally like that. They left Ottavino off? Oh, I saw him in the bullpen last night. Yeah, okay. But yeah, what's in our foods? Sugar. We're not doing a good job of taking care of each other. At least our institutions and our economic drivers aren't doing a great job of taking care of the health of our people. It's something to learn from and adjust to. Like, of course it's this way, but you know, it's all about shareholder value, guys. And if that's what we're going to do, then sometimes corners are going to get cut. And by sometimes, I mean literally every time. Opinion on Baby Acuna's start to his career so far. Big thumbs up. That kid is athletic. He's going to be a weapon for them moving forward. Don't be surprised if he is the second baseman very soon. Because Jeff is so versatile. that I would not be surprised if Baby Acuna started at second base next year. If Iglesias isn't re-signed. What's the carry metric? Induced vertical break, IVB. That's the carry metric. Actually, by the way, they just put this on Savant, so I'll show it to you. Ooh, excuse me. Guys, thank you for being here. Also, all the subs. Toodles a Fool, thank you for your 2 months. MDub, 68 months. Thank you as well. Sorry, guys, I missed that. Any subs are greatly appreciated. Also, I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so I don't watch a ton of football, but I'm starting to watch it more. I saw this Will Levis play yesterday where he ran over the ball boy. Now, this is, you know, I hope he's okay. Will Levis is, where do I start? The guy's a cartoon character, but he hits the ball boy, right? So this is Will Levis. Just gonna run. Oh my God, every time. So he goes to the corner, gets hit, takes this ball boy out. Guy's injured. He gets carted off. Doesn't care at all. Walks out and then hits him with one of these. This right here. First down.
The man who
just oblivious. Just oblivious. Freaking torpedoed a dude. Does not care and hits him with a first down. And he threw like what? He completed 20 passes for like 90 yards. I don't know. The guy's weird. He looks great in the uni though. Thought I saw a video, but maybe I'm misremembering. Hey, Vince, no, it's called Neptune Baseball. Neptune Pitching on YouTube. Neptune Pitching. The issues is kids watching unregulated content. 1000%. 1000%. But again, like that's also kind of a losing proposition. You can't regulate. There's too much. You can't regulate it. You just can't. They backdoor it. Their friends. It's basically like the meta is going to constantly adjust to the things put in place. And the best possible way is to instill the intention to your kid first. Now, I know that's not going to always work because he's going to be with his kids and the kids are going to, like, the friends might be like, no, go watch this. It's crazy. And they'll do it because I did that in YouTube, whatever. But, like, it's a combination of both. The access to it and the desire to do it work together. Now, if one of those is weaker than the other one, then it'll get tapered out. But like you only have so much control over the regulation, but you have more of a say in the person who's making the decisions. So you like approach it from both sides. It's not just one or the other. It's not like saying you know we don't have a gun problem. We have a mental health problem. We do have a mental health problem. We're terrible at taking care of mental health, and we also have a gun problem. Guns are also really available all the time. They're very available. They're very easy to get. That's also they're not mutually exclusive. They both exist simultaneously. A lot of times making each other worse. Why can't that be what's going on, right? It's more complicated than that. It always is. Same thing. Watching Twitch on the smart fridge. Exactly. Now I got fridges that play Twitch. Ugh! There's Twitch in cars. Saw some kids leaving notes to their parents via the Ring instead of writing and leaving a note. Interesting stuff. I mean, that sounds just efficient. Anyway,
who pushed him out.
We were going to talk about something and I forgot what it was. So, oh, sorry, Savant. So Baseball Savant. Let's just do, let's do Cade Smith so you can see it. They actually have this number now. So you can go to Baseball Savant. For the IVB stuff, we were just talking about this. So you go down to here. You go down to the movement profile, which is right here. So here's run values by pitch type and then movement. So this is overall, right? So vertical drop 13 inches. Induced VB is 16. Interesting. It's average. He's got an average drop. Slightly above average drop on his four seam, which is super interesting. It must be arm slot then. What's his angle at? 37 degrees, yeah. But that's really high vert. Oh, no, he's got really good vert. Not really. I think he just tunnels really well. Dude, the average four-seam fastball is 94.7. Huh, nice. 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 You're anti-smart car a little bit? You should be. Though I have a Rivian now. Tesla's just... They're getting worse and worse, man. Oh, 98th percentile, yeah. I was 7'2". That's what gave me mine. So, yeah, the extension's big. He's tall. 6'5", 230. Yeah, no, this is very similar. Like, my 2020 was like this. His is 28. Mine was 20 runs. But, like, 2019, I had a run value like that. And I threw it about 68% of the time. 13 in is a lot. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. But it's not like, crazy above average. Like, Emanaga's is way higher. Cutter Crawford's is like a 10. So he had like 4 inches above average. But yeah, it's here. Mental health is just now take things to numb yourself. Well, it's cheaper, isn't it, Night? Cheaper. And that's what it comes down to. Does anyone have Elite Ride and Elite Run? So run actually hurts ride. So having a 2-plane fastball is not what you want. Because it gives more information for a hitter about ball flight. The vert with having no horizontal makes it better. But if you're asking about sinker and four seam, there's some guys who have elite 2-seam run and then good four seams, but not a lot have both. Not a lot have both. Oops, that was the same thing. I just pushed the same button. I'm not sure if it's cheaper. No, it is cheaper. It is cheaper because weekly therapy could be more than daycare, which is saying something. Also, the insurance coverage for mental health services is much, 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 much more rare than it is for pharmaceuticals. Oh. That makes sense. Like it's just easier to prescribe a pill and say take this every day than hey, let's get a schedule of 8 sessions in, all of which cost $300. And that's not the therapist's fault either, by the way. They have to make a living as well. But it should be a service that is covered by the company that you pay $1,100 a month. Everyone nowadays is out of their minds. Actually, you know what's funny? It's another thing is we feel like everyone's out of their minds because of social media, but it's a lot of the same. It's a lot of the same. Like if you just go talk to people in the world, a lot of people are pretty normal, pretty fine. It's just. Then you go on, you open X, and then you look over, and it's like, for you. And it's like, is Kamala a Muslim? And you're like, dude. The first one is Elon lying about something. You're like, cool. Cool. My company has made a priority to take mental health since C. And all companies should do the same. 1,000%. I blame Josh Hader for my mental health. You're in charge of your own health, brother man. Would you consider overlaying the baseball savant stats with video examples of the pitches? I don't get mental picture of what these look like without video. That would be a great video to make. Actually, let me write that down. That's a great idea for the upgraded show. By the way, I'm writing a screenplay. I brought that up earlier and didn't even touch on it again. It's called Rook. And it's about a rookie year, a guy's first year of the major leagues, and everything that comes along with that. So let me know if there's parts of that you've always wondered about that you would love to see in a movie. Because I'm taking suggestions. I have a lot written, It's like 50 pages now, but I need 120. Ooh, okay. How do you feel about the Tigers pitching chaos theory they use this pure post-trade deadline? I think that it's great if you can do it, but it's not sustainable. It's not new. I don't know why we call it pitching chaos. It's just it's bullpen games every day. Like, people have been doing it forever. The opener was pitcher chaos, and are we going to have 15 pitchers that can pitch any day? Like, that's not going to be better. Trust me, it's just not. That's making a long season longer. That is making rest even harder. That is making overthinking even worse, in my opinion. Let guys go out and do something that maybe the numbers don't say that is ideal, but it's still possible. Because if we're always just getting the same results, boring. Best uniforms in baseball? Any of the baby blues. Include draft day, the call-up, and the first appearance. Already have all those in. So the call-up and first appearance is the first day. Draft day is a flashback. So it's going to start with this when he gets called up. And it's going to happen in a funny way. I'm not going to give it away, but it's a really funny reason he gets called up. Exactly. Tigers didn't know they'd go off and take a wild card. Yeah, it's like it wasn't planned that way. It just happened to work out. Is there any specific data on Baseball Savant that you think is good at projecting the future success of a player? Tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. Like, for example, I did a Diamond and Rough episode on my podcast. So, like, my first episode of my pod going into this season, I only did 10 episodes. I should have done way more. It will be done more moving forward. But the first episode was about Caleb Ort and being a Diamond and Rough, and he had a great year because of things I saw in Savant. I would go listen to that, the Mayday pod, on anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify. It's like the first subject I talked about. And I talked about why. So, like, vert's good. Slider stuff is good. You can look at arm angle and tunneling ability is good. You can see if it's just a command issue. That's all on there. You can look at how each pitch performed for his career or for however long, like how expecting batting average on stuff and whether he needs to bang something and throw something else. I can also see based on spin patterns, like if he's a supinator or a pronator, and then see what other pitches he might be able to throw based on his natural abilities. A lot of those. What streaming service will the screenplay be on? Let me finish it, and then let me see if anyone gives a shit first. But Netflix? Hopefully none. Who do you think will be the best reliever in baseball in 5 years? Somebody who's not in the major leagues right now. I have a question. In all my youth, all my coaches would say I always throw over the top and never lower the angle, but I see all kinds of arm angles in the major leagues. Yeah, that was bad advice. Sam, sorry. There's an interesting thing. The way that I would teach, like I'm going to teach my nephew. So my nephews are starting to pitch. I don't know if they are super jazzed about it, but whatever. We're not doing any specific like arm slot separation. Like I'm gonna help them learn what the most comfortable way to throw a ball is for them. Like, because I didn't spend a lot of time doing that, and throwing was what informed those decisions. I found what felt good, and then make small adjustments to achieve different effect. Like if we want to throw a little bit harder, there's some small things, but it's not going to be like, oh, you have to do this to throw hard. That's not true every time. There's exceptions to every single rule. What I want kids to do is feel comfortable, not start to think about all this stuff too early, and just go throw. Let your brain tell your body what to do, and then we'll adjust from there. But start there first. There's just so many guys who are like, they're 9 and their dad's like, throw it straight over the top because that's what throw it 3 quarters because that's what Nolan Ryan did. And you don't know that that's why he was good, and you don't know anything. So, like, let's not make that a rule that isn't a rule. And I think that's something that happens. A lot of youth coaches, like, create rules that aren't rules. Because there's dudes who throw, like, short arm. And look at Jason Adam. Look at Cutter Crawford going. You know? Jason Adam going. Like, those are short arming the ball and still throwing 95. Some guys can do that better than others. I was super long. I was like this. I'd starfish. And I did that till the end of my career. I threw 90. I ran that up to 100 miles an hour doing that. I had an average almost 97 in 2022 throwing like that. So I didn't need to do this because I got to this position. But if you do this and then you never get to this position, that's when you would shorten it because this is preventing you from getting here. I didn't have that problem. So we didn't do that. I didn't need to do this. But guys who don't know what they're doing would tell me, hey, your arm motion's too long because I saw an Instagram post. And like, that's not. Yeah, Jalen Beeks. Same thing. Taylor Rogers dropped down. It's not Taylor Rogers. It's Tyler Rogers. Tyler Rogers dropped down in college, actually. So he was drafted that way. You should really think about running pitching camps in your local area. I'm thinking about it. It's about time, Steve. And also, I want to have a little bit of a program going. And also, I want to hang out, not have to go to the baseball field all the time right away. So that's what I was talking about with Neptune earlier. Neptune pitching, this is what we're going to get into. Also, I'm looking at nasty pitches. So we have 3, 6. We have about 11 pitches, 12 pitches. I'm going to go one more week of Nasty's pitches. We're going to take it easy for one more week with Nasty pitches. And I'm going to add some of my own in here. And then that way we'll be through the NLCS. And we'll do all the playoff pitches at once. I would like to have about 20 so we can get a full video because this is how I get videos. So this week we've been just chilling and I've really been enjoying it and answering questions. Trevor May, do you still root for certain teams in the MLB or do you just analyze? No, I'm rooting for the Mets, man. It's so funny. I had such a tumultuous relationship with the fan base, but like I'm realizing how much I care about them and I really want them to just have it go their way once. So a lot of emotion attached there, right? I don't know. It's weird. And I love the Twins, very clear, but it's like a more of a laid back situation, right? And then I love the A's for the same reason, like the whole John Fisher thing and everyone there is wonderful. And also the reverse boycott stuff and stuff. So like I have special feelings for all those, but yeah, in the playoffs right now, the Mets I'm rooting for. I'm actively rooting against the Yankees because that's in my blood. Sorry guys, but you get it. Like I don't hate them. I actually really like watching all their. It's funny. I like all their players individually. Just never get behind. I'm just. It's blasphemy to me. It's like being a Mets fan and like saying, "Oh, I also like the Yankees." You know what I mean? You're supposed to. All right, take it easy, Steve. Is there a world where a player gets access to regulated PED use for rehab or in the offseason? They do. Yes, there is therapeutic use exemptions, TUEs, that are regular. So ADD medication is the one that's used the most. Like literally like 15% of the leagues on a TUE for that because they have it when they get drafted or whatever. I was actually diagnosed later in my life, but I've had raging ADD my whole life, and it was a struggle for a long time. Thank God I'm medicated now. That's the number one. And then there's other guys who like sometimes they have thyroid issues. There's a medical condition where they need to have some and then there's exemptions for like a steroidal approaches to infection. Like if you get staph and stuff, you can take steroids, a steroid to get rid of that. That might trigger a test, but you get a pass, right? So yeah, like I think Mike Trout had that for a while, thyroid issues, where he was taking a supplement, a testosterone supplement. I don't know if he does now, but yeah, that's happened in the past. Oh, Crohn's, yeah, Crohn's disease, colitis. Jake Diekman has Crohn's. Kyle Gibson had colitis for a while. Yeah. So yes. What are your thoughts on starting pitchers and long-term contracts in this day and age of blown elbows? I love long-term contracts, and I always will, whether you blow out or not. Because in my head, here's my thing. I know fans want return on investment, right? They want to sign a guy who's not going to get hurt, but like the way that the economics of this league are set up is long-term contracts have to exist or the players get the shit deal. So like you get a long-term contract with the assumption that sometime's going to be missed in those years. It's built in. Because of the value that like a starting pitcher adds to a team, if they were there all 8 years, like say it was an 8-year contract and they never missed a day in those 8 years, no matter what the amount of money is they made, it could be $200 million. The value they add by being there every single day is going to be worth more than that. That's outperforming if you're healthy the whole time because of the nature of this game, because of how hard it is to be healthy that much, because of how many games they have to play. You're asking someone to start 32 times in a year. Like your body isn't supposed to do it. Like it's not supposed to. It's more rare than not rare. There's way more guys that miss time than play the whole year. If that tells you anything. So I know that for fans, they don't give a shit about that, but it's just the way it has to be put together with 6 years of control. Now, if that went away, contracts would get shorter, but they don't want to give up control, so contracts aren't going to get shorter. What should Blake Snell get in the offseason? He's going to probably sign a similar deal somewhere. Not a crazy long-term deal, but I wouldn't, not similar. Maybe he gets a 4 or 5 year deal. Yeah, same thing in soccer in Europe. Exactly. Patrick Corbin. Yeah, you can complain about Patrick Corbin all day, but you know what? He shoved the year they won the World Series. You know what I mean? The year they were good and they needed him, he was good and they won it. So, Snell with Atlanta. I don't know. I think Snell's still trying to push for the West Coast. I don't. Sacramento, maybe? Yes, I think Chris Sale ends up taking the Cy Young. Yeah, I do. Especially because he threw so well at the end. I know he didn't throw a ton of innings, but he's just so dominant, man. Snell, San Diego? Possibly, man. That could happen. Because San Diego, they're not going to make any move. They're not going to sign a bunch of guys. They could sign one guy. If they did, dude. That'd be crazy. And then Scooble, obviously, AL. Oh, do they have a ton of arb raises? Yeah. Well, we'll see if they extend Arias. I thought Snell the Mets, maybe. That's a good one too. I just think that Blake's gonna probably make 35 a year. What's he making now? 30? Was it 32? 30? Was it 3 for 90? What was it? Is he making 35 now? I'm not sure how much you follow the M's, but I feel very bad that they do not get some solid bats to go with the insane staff. Do you think that's an ownership and money going out type of thing? The Dipoto 54% win percentage comment feels really bad. Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but also there's something in Seattle that makes it hard to hit. That's why they haven't had, in the Safeco era, there's been except for the first year, they've had not a great offensive year, not truly. They've had a couple middle of the pack, a couple like top 10 maybe, but like nothing crazy because it's just hard. But also the way they put their team together, and then also the way the meta changed, the way the three big outcomes were a thing for a while. The juice balls did not help, and then the try to juice everything approach was most exposed in Seattle. What I think they should do is really, 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 really focus on chaos on the bat. Base paths and gap-to-gap power. Let Julio and let Cal be your power, and then the rest of the team needs to be put the ball in play and run. Because stolen bases are free now. They're just free. I like Dylan Moore. Yeah, cool. He stole a bunch of bases. Dylan Moore strikes out 39% of the time, like for his career. For a guy with not very much pop, who is a utility player, to strike out 40% of his at bats, that's insane. That's insane. That's crazy. So they need a shift. So like basically since DePoto took over, their strikeout rate has gone up and up and up and up and up. It was like 19%. Now it's like 25%. But yes, getting like JP Crawford needs to stay. He just needs to be healthy. He is a good player he's a shortstop, good defensively. He doesn't really run, but he like gets on base. He doesn't strike out a ton. When he's good, when he's going, he's going. Julio has the opportunity to be a star, but like he's got to learn. He's got to keep working on his approach. Cal just keeps needing to just hit 220 Cal with 30 homers. Just keep doing that. That's fine. You don't need to do anything more than that. And having maybe one more bopper would be good, and then the rest needs to be gap-to-gap guys that can run. You think the Mariners try to sign Christian Walker? He'd be a solid pickup. He actually strikes out a lot less. 62 mil for 2 years with a player option, right? Random question you may or may not remember. Were you one of the Twins players who went around to different elementary schools in Minnesota? They would set up blown up baseball games for kids and baseballs into and such. I did do the caravan, yes. This was in the winter. Yes. I don't know if I was in that specific trip where there was like baseball stuff set up, but I did go speak at some assemblies a couple times. It was a lot of fun. Where do you think Crochet goes? Chicago White Sox? Unless they trade him. Alec Jacob. Can't throw harder than 88, and his stuff plus is pretty low, but he's been very effective in his rookie year. What do you think is happening to make him tough to hit? I actually don't know who Alec Jacob is. Where's that? Is it like a Phil Maton type of situation? What do you think Brent Rooker will do as an offensive number as an encore in 2025? You know that Brent Rooker's been really good for 2 years, right? It'd be his third year in a row. He hit like 260 with 30 the year before, and then he hit 38 this year. So I think another 30 homer season from him is entirely possible. Cubs Fried. Ooh, Fried's going to be a good pickup for somebody. Do we have details on Sacramento's park factors? Not great for hitting, man. Kind of a graveyard. But it is also high desert a little bit, so. Sure, May, you need to work with the Mariners in some way. Well, the thing is, they got pitching kind of covered. I don't know. I'm interested in this stuff. I just the bureaucracy of the front offices and the crap and the egos and all this stuff, like, I don't know. It'd be fun to help design. It would be fun to work directly with. I would love to implement things on the field, like work directly with a player and say, let's try this stuff. And you can bounce, just being a resource. And I try to do that for my house. I've worked with a couple players this year, just been a kind of a resource for them to reach out to whenever they want. I want to always offer that. And I don't really care about being paid at this point. Just kind of developing my skills. So it's interesting. Want to watch some Eli Morgan changeups? Yeah. He's got the Dylan Cease? Chat, I have to go to the bathroom real quick, and then we're going to finish up this show with the last half hour here. Give me 38 seconds, and I will answer your question. I'm going to run real quick. So listen to the song. Try to count in order from 1 to 100 in the chat. If you mess it up, then you got to start over. Jeremy! Ew. I see we got to 3. Oh, 5. There it is. Hey, what up, Serge? Guys, Sergio Romo's here. Did you know that? No. Oh, that's wrong. Serge, I'm so glad you're here. Serge, have you seen the dude, the drummer guy with the beard? The crazy drummer? He looks exactly like you is why I asked. Have you seen him? Braves get Adames. Ooh, that's another one. Oh, that's a good pickup. That would be awesome. That was fast. Yep. Do the Cats have opinions on your brother? Yes, they are not. They are not convinced yet, but Marmalade has given him some sniffs. Even bumped him once, and Mattson is interested in him. Toasty, not feeling it. Though Toasty has begun to come say hello to me. Who's your picks for today? I got the Mets coming back, tying it up 1-1, and then I got Cleveland. Cleveland taking game 1. You think Fried will stay? I think it's entirely possible. He would probably have to take a team friendly though, because that is AA's guy. I think Adames to the Braves makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, Tio to Atlanta too. That also, dude. Those guys are good. Those are spots that they could fill. All right, Cincinnati Reds employee here. What does the ball club got to do in 2025 to make a run at the playoffs? Hire Tito Francona. Mission accomplished. Just, if you want to see a cohesive group of guys all playing at their best, Terry Francona. He's going to make a bit, like, I'm telling you, man. Yes, Tito, it's going to be a different type of the way the games are put together, and the way that people are deployed and the way guys are bought in is going to change in a big way. Because they're close, man. There's so much talent there. It's just putting it together. So I think that's like they have the pieces to win that division right now. Right now they could win the division. They have the talent to win the division. Lodolo stays healthy. Ashcraft figures it out. And then Hunter Green was a stud. He was a bona fide ace. You have an ace. You have a guy who can become a superstar in Ellie De La Cruz if he just tightens it up. Just tightens it up a bit. You have a guy who becomes a true star, and Hunter Green stays being an ace. Those are the two things you start with. Alex Bregman of the Red Sox, dude, that's a good call too. Dude, these are good calls. You guys are smart. You must be watching some good baseball shows. Okay, I have a question for you about this show. So, for those of you that are here, now I understand you're going to be a little bit biased, so we're going to run this in Discord. I'm going to run a poll. I need to adjust the time that this show runs. So right now we are 8 to 10:30 Pacific time. Would like a later morning work? So like 10 to 9:30 to noon, or 10 to 12:30, or I go at like 1 p.m. to 3:30, which is like 4 to 6:30 Eastern. Is like early afternoon or late morning better? Because I understand it's Monday. I'm trying to think like if like kids get home from school, but then again, people are probably like at 4, you'll be like coming home from work, so you won't be able to catch it. I'm thinking later morning is better, like the 11 o'clock or early afternoon for you. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to run this poll. Let's just run this poll in the general chat. Just going to run it. Sorry, guys, I got to focus. I'm terrible at typing, though I am getting better. I'm not looking down as much, guys. I'm not hunting pecking. Are you proud of me? Okay, I'm going to give you a few options. Okay. 9:30 to noon PST. 10:30 to 1 p.m. PST. Or 1 to 3:30 p.m. Stall. Okay. It's in the general. Oh, hold on. I can just show you. What the hell am I doing? So I put it in the general chat. And we're gonna go 3 days with this because I just really need to know. Actually, I don't know if I don't know if that worked. Are you 8 hours behind me? Right now it's 6 p.m. for you. Yes. So later morning's probably better for you. Right? Wait, Matthew, the guard's pen is disgusting. I'm worried about overuse. They are disgusting, but they have been used a lot. It depends, man. We talked about this. They're 7 deep, though. They're 7 deep, so you might be able to pull it off. But you got to have 5+ a couple times. 10 to 1, 10:30 to 10 to 1:30 is your vote. Well, that's not one of the options. Where do you find the Discord link? Exclamation point Discord. DC Golf, brand new subscription to the chat. Not only that, it's a tier 1, guys. That means they opened their wallet, they typed in all of the information, and they said, I will give you money. And then Twitch is like, give me half of that. Give me half that. I got to prove to Daddy Bezos that we're profitable so that we can all get a pizza party at the end of the year. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's get some love in the chat. Let's get some teammate dances. Please, thank you. And Classe, keep this up. I don't know about this specifically, but yes. We'll see how long he can go. He seems to be crazy. Everything could go into kick? Absolutely not. That place is hell. No. No. Not that it would affect me in any way. I just don't want to force anyone to have to go to that hellhole. See, that's where Jack Doherty went. Yeah, he's banned. Is he back yet? Did they already let him back yet? He got banned, but he's not unbanned yet, right? I love that he's like, oh, I was banned. His mom's like, but what about your party? And he's like, oh, I'll get unbanned by then. Don't worry. Of course, his mom's like, but what about your party? Enabler. God damn it, man. It's her fault. Aiden Ross said if you paid him like $300K, you can come back. Cool. Aiden Ross. The #1 coolest Aiden. Freaking offering dudes money to go sit in a hurricane. God, you guys are idiot. Like, you're such an idiot, man. It's just not worth it. Money is just, it's just one of the things that there are. I understand the need to get it. The world exists and it's hard to pay for things right now, and needing money is very important, but it's not every single thing. Seattle go after Trevor Bauer? I don't think so, no. I think that's probably the last thing they do just because of the PR. Again, we've talked a lot about it. Honestly, I've spoken to Trevor about this, about the whole thing. And I just think that maybe the ship has sailed. And every year gets older, and it's just going to be, I don't think anybody wants to deal with the press conferences and the questions they're going to have to ask and the constant harping on it. And that's just kind of what it comes down to. It's silly. It is, you have your opinions of that, but that's just what it comes down to. Ain't no one want to deal with it no more. True, but that's not the only thing. There are also pranks. Again, people who are older than 16, pranks just get kind of not funny anymore. Like, I know I'm going hard on these guys, but we got like the Nelk boys. Those guys are like, their podcast is like, I'm like, do you guys do any research ever about anything? They don't know anything. And it's like the most popular podcast ever. I'm like, I don't get it. Like they just look confused all day. Again, not my cup. People like it. Whatever. Like what you like. I don't care. But like, it's just, it's funny. It's only 10 a.m. and I already want to go home. Facts. By the way, from Spokane, and I know you went east side. He still throws gas and does good. I understand he's still good, but like it's not about that, and we gotta stop acting like it is. I understand there's an appeal there, but like he's not gonna get past all the stuff. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry. Probably. It might. It's not a talent issue. It's not. Fisher would sign TB for league minimum. He would. He could have. He didn't. So I don't think Fisher does not care. You're confusing. John Fisher has to actually give a shit about the team and what it does and knowing anything about it. He literally doesn't care about the team, the whole having a team and and like making them a better organization. He doesn't care. He just lets everyone else run it, and he just finds a way to get it to give him as much money as possible so he can prove that he's really good at business. That's his whole life. So you're giving him too much credit. Where do you think Bieber goes? That's an interesting question. Curveball, do you think that that teams not wanting to deal with it is justified, or does it logical? Does it make sense that they don't? You play MLB The Show at all? I have a lot in the past. I haven't played the new one very much this year. Can the A's sign a tier 2 free agent? Maybe. This might be the year. They were so much better this year, dude. Watching my homies get better. Oh, love that. Next time you're in NOI, drop by, give your facility a visit. We'd love to have you. Velo University. I'll check it out, man. What area are you in? Are you in the city? Thoughts on the city of Oakland? The places that I went to in Oakland were awesome. Awesome. I went out to dinner a couple times on the northern side. Some really cool spots. Dope spots. Yeah, obviously there's some spots that aren't as nice. But it's just a horse that I think is getting beat to death. That conversation. Let's just put it this way: the state of the city was not the reason for any of this happening, and it's just an excuse. Law Dog was tremendous. Tremendous is the right word. Bieber might head to Cali. He's a Cali boy. Well, the interesting part is that he was hurt. Like what type of deal he get? Probably he'll get a reclamation deal, probably 1 year. But I could see, dude. I could see Justin. I could see Shane Bieber being like a 1 year to the Dodgers. Like 1 year, 20. Actually, I mean, Cleveland might be able to QO him, man. I actually don't know what the rules are around that. Odds on Seattle landing Bregman. I'd say Bregman and Christian Walker should be two guys they should go for, because I think that they are gonna get money, but like it's not gonna be anything. I think like Bregman probably is like should be a 5 or 6 year deal, and they can get him for 525 or something, and then, which is a lot if you think about it. But Christian Walker, same thing. Like Christian Walker's a little older, so he's even cheaper probably. What's your favorite garbage plate in Rochester? Not a garbage plate person, dude. Nah. I just couldn't get behind it, man. Do you think Philly could make a move for Bregman if they move on from Bohm? Why would they move on from Bohm? He was an all-star this year. They're not going to move on from Bohm. He's too controllable. He's too cheap for too long, and he's made the all-star team. He's going nowhere. Unless they get he's in a trade for some one that they did not expect to be able to get. Do you think the net positive bring MLB in Las Vegas? Probably not. Probably not. Because Vegas already watches. Like, I just don't think that. I don't think it's gonna. Maybe TV deals. It just depends on what the local regional TV deal is for a movie net positive. For fandom, though, no. Like Vegas, it's just transients. Like, it's just there's no one from there, right? So, thoughts on Jared Krause? I like Jared. Jared's my guy, man. Zoo, 47 months. What up? What up? How we doing? How would you pitch to Mr. Betts? Don't throw a slider. There is no team-saving player for the Mariners. There's no team-saving players in baseball, actually. So, but if you can move one of your starters and get a bat to create a little more balance to win more games, then do it. But I don't know. I really don't know about that. There's just a lot of economic stuff going on that we just don't know about. But I know it hurts. I know it. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Baseball is dead. Wait, is baseball is dead? Is that the okay, hold on. I think I actually was on the Baseball is Dead podcast. Oh, is that Dallas? Which one was I on? Oh, it's Dallas and Jared? Oh, yeah. No, I've been on the pod. I was on starting 9 with them when they were starting 9. Yeah. There's another one that's like Baseball is Alive, maybe? Or Baseball Isn't Dead, I think it's called. Yeah, no, I went on a couple years ago with them when they were starting 9. Yeah, Baseball Isn't Dead. I was on that one earlier last fall. Ooh, I'm hot. I'm sweaty. All right, guys. Man, today's been a hot one, a good one. Like lots of stuff we talked about. What do we got? What do we got for more questions here before we take off? I know today was pretty chill. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I wanted to make sure that I was just communicating some new stuff we got working on. I really want to upgrade the graphics for the show. I really want to upgrade the production. It's not going to happen next week, but I think that going into the next show. So here's the things that I want to encourage you to do, and I'm trying to encourage myself. So it would be really helpful for me if people use the Discord to ask things when they didn't do it on the show. So if you're in the Discord channel, which I would really appreciate you to do, you can go in there, you can choose a role. Basically, you'll only see the baseball stuff, which is what we use it for at this point now anyways. And then participate in the polls, and there's a thing in here, channel, I'll show you. This channel right here, questions for Trevor. This stuff. When you guys throw questions in here, this informs a lot of what we do on the show. So if you're like, oh, that'd be a great question for Trevor, I've always wondered that. You're watching the game, in the next few days, whatever, just go drop it in there. If it's a really in-depth thing, like it's like a concept to go in, I got to get out the whiteboard, we got to talk about it, then that's great too. So I would love for you guys to throw that stuff in there. Nasty's pitches, we do this every few weeks. These are links. We have a few more in here, right? But we're looking for about 8 more before we go over them, and we're going to just live react to these, but I try not to watch them beforehand so I can give you a genuine reaction. But this is always here. We have weekly polls. The Mets, 6-5. Okay. And then general chat. We're just in here chatting the whole time. Let's see what the results are so far. 10-30 to 1, 6-2. Actually, let me just let me edit this real quick. Am I blind? Bro. Can I not edit this? Huh. Let's just reply to it then, maybe? I mean, I fully understand that the edit was probably somewhere in there. But, oh, yeah, you can't edit it. You can't edit polls. Didn't know that. I can edit this one, though. Yeah, I can edit this. The poll! How many minutes till Shohei is up to bat? I don't see a timer. Forgot to turn it on, Noah. My bad. My bad. Oh, the game's at 1 today, right? Well, now we know. And now you know. Vote. I need you guys to go vote in this poll because it's very important to me. I'm also going to ask, I'm going to do the poll. I'll do the poll on YouTube too. So like, if you guys see it in my community posts, it's also there. I really want to make sure that because I'm making the change just because baby, right? Baby, we kind of found a little bit of a continuity here in the morning where I take him in the morning. It takes over at about noon. I'm about to, she just did a meeting. I'm going to go take him for the rest of the day. So Ryan Brazier starting with the Dodgers. Oh my God, they are doing a bullpen day again. Trevor May, your lifetime gold card. Does that let you to go to these more important games? No playoff games. I don't get to go to playoff games. No playoff games at all, but every other game, yes. And the All-Star game. Can't do that either. Because, duh. Someone just posted Roblox. Yankees go get primetime. Well, they get primetime too because they're on the East Coast. Because the latest the West Coast game can start is at 5. So they do the Pacific. They do a day game on the Pacific time, and then by the time that game's over, it's 7 on the Eastern time zone. So read Matt's in the baseball book. I will, Danny. I will. So yeah, guys, go check out the Discord. Is there a new baseball doc on Netflix? Is there? That's why 7 pitches for. Yeah, it was big. He set the tone. Those 8 to 9 p.m. Well, they shouldn't happen because they shouldn't happen this round because of where all the teams are. So the schedule should be pretty good. With the Red Sox? Oh, gotta go check that out. Oh, like the Hard Knocks thing, right? Oh, who did that? Who did the it was Peyton. It was Peyton Manning's production company, right? Yeah, I'm thinking late morning is going to be the best time. Honestly, I think 10:30 to 1 might be the best overall just because it gives you like middle of the day where like you guys have your lunch lunchtime, like if you're at school, whatever, lunchtime if you're at work, and then it gets to like moves into after school for the kids that are coming home from school and they're home by 4 and they can check out the show then. I think the 10:30 to 1 is feeling good. Maybe like 11 to 1:30, but the middle one seems good to me. And then also Danny can be here. So it'll just be the evening for you. It's the Goldilocks time. Yeah. Just heard it during the Mets game on the radio. Ooh, I'll check it out then, Brian. I'm going to go sit in front of the TV the rest of the day. Because I got, according to my Whoop, I got 4.5 hours of sleep last night. Yeah, the current time overlaps the end of your European workday. Okay, so so if it started right now and went for the next 2.5 hours, this is probably when the most people are around. True. Okay. Maybe what keep me up? Yeah, dude. Well, so I take him. So Kate does feeding. She does the first 2 feeds. And I take him and take the next feed. possibly 2 feeds in the morning. So like from like 4:30, between 4 and 4:30 a.m. I'll take him into because I have a bath. So basically, I'm in the guest room, she's in the main room, and we like swap back and forth, and one of us has him with us so the other one can sleep. And we're kind of doing half and half right now, which is not the best thing in the world, but she kind of likes it. And so like from like 4:30 to 10:30, so she can sleep in and get her rest. Which is nice because the other day I went to bed at 7:30 and woke up at 4:30, like full night of sleep. That was awesome. Like, so, but we're trying. We're doing our best. But like, actually, to be honest, it being a little bit later in the morning will allow me to prepare a little bit better. That way I don't have to do it all the night before. It's just better. And also it works better for you guys. So, and also it'll work better if I have a producer. So sick. I like it. Yeah, but I've been feeding. What I'm saying is I like the 50-50. I would just like it like maybe she takes a whole night, so I just sleep through it, and then the next night I take a whole night, she sleeps through it. Is there really such thing as pitcher's cleats? No, but there is a pitcher's toe that goes in the end of the cleat if you tear up your toe. Pitcher's toe is the difference. But no, all the cleats are the same. Just look, Trevor came out September 13th. I'm going to go check it out then. All right, boys and girls. I need to head out because of baby. And because I told Kate I would. Today was a lot of fun. I got a lot of information from you. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Sub to the YouTube. Guys, if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you like the stream. I keep forgetting to tell you that. Be sure to like the stream. And then next week. Hello? 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 Oh, I'm still streaming? No, I didn't unplug. Dude, I just had the power go out. The power just went out and then came back on. I also have a battery surge protector, but the monitor's turned off, so I couldn't see anything on monitors, but the computer stayed on. So I don't know what happened, but I'm here. Okay, bye, guys. I love you guys. Join the Discord, and I'll see you next time. You're the best. Sorry, that was the weirdest thing that's ever happened. Night. Bye.